Hey everyone, hope you're all doing fantastic this week. I have a long-awaited fabric haul to show you guys. I've been promising you this for so long now. It has substantially grown since the first time I mentioned it. I've been so busy with the Sew April Blouse Challenge that we kicked off, and it was fantastic. So congratulations to the winners, and I want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys who entered and just how great the whole sewing community is. I'm on to my next season's makes. Well, it's May, so I'm thinking it's starting to cool down here, so I'm starting to think about things I'd like to make for cooler seasons. It's not really a cold winter here in Melbourne. We do get down to around 10 degrees Celsius. So I know a lot of you guys in the Northern Hemisphere would just be laughing at that, just as we laugh at our hot days when you guys will say it's 20 degrees and we'd think, oh, that's the middle of autumn or spring here. But yeah, it doesn't really get that cold where we are, but you do get those frosty, chilly mornings. So I want to make sure I've got some cozy things to wear and a few little plans, nothing too concrete, because I do like to have everything left open because I do tend to change my mind a lot, which I'm sure you all know by now. So I hope you're going to enjoy the fabrics I've got to show you here, and I'm going to try and link as many of them as I can underneath, because I know that you guys will love to go and click on the links and see if you can find them. So I'll do the best I can with those. Some of them may have sold out. There's a lot still that are still there online. So I'm going to show you what I've got. I forgot to mention what I'm wearing today, as I always get too carried away with everything else to talk about here. The Pattern Fantastic Varley blouse I've got on today, and this is in that beautiful cloth edit floaty rayon fabric that I was just enamored with, couldn't resist it. I hope she's getting some more of this in, but I know she's getting other beautiful rayons in very shortly too. So beautiful sleeve on this, really happy with the Varley. Yeah, I wouldn't mind making one with a little bit longer sleeve, but I think it'd be really nice layered for winter as well, but loving it with a pair of jeans. It's my new favourite top. Now, first of all, I have got a beautiful piece of stretch lace fabric. Now, this was a kind of an accidental gain of fabric because I had been asked to to add on to a dress for one of my twin daughters. Her boyfriend is in a band, and they are in the middle of releasing a new album. Because of COVID last year, a lot of it got sort of put on the back burner, but they had a video clip to film, and they haven't had an old mansion they were filming, and they wanted the lead kind of actress in the film clip to wear kind of a modern looking, high fashion looking dress. So I suggested they find like a bare bones dress kind of for it underneath, and I would elaborate on that because it was hard not having her around to sort of fit her. So we went online and we found some gorgeous stretch lace, which I have here. And of course, we were really short on time. We only had about a week turnaround to get it ready, and it was the wrong colour. It was meant to be more of a claret red, and it ended up coming more of a plum. That's a bit of a gain for me because it means I've got extra fabric I didn't count on using, but I think I'll find something nice to do with it. So that video clip is in the process of sort of being made up now. Next week or so I can show you what I actually did to these sleeves. I ended up finding some silk taffeta that I had lying around in my stash that I actually inherited from my late auntie, that I went through a stash about over a year ago now, and I used some of that and it matched perfectly with this dress. So I'll show you guys on a future episode if you're interested in seeing that film clip. But yeah, really happy with how it came up. It looked fantastic for the setting they were in. So I have ended up with a beautiful piece of stretchy plummy colour lace fabric from Pitt Trading in Sydney, and they do have some fantastic remnant sales. If you're ever interested in having a look online, they're 6 p.m. Friday nights. They do tend to have designer ends, remnant sales, and a lot of new release fabrics. So it's a fantastic online store. I highly suggest you go and check that out. But this is a really beautiful fine lace, and it maybe could be that Vogue nightie that I've been meaning to make for a long time. Maybe I could find kind of a stretch knit fabric to go underneath it to do that kind of double layer, or even something like a wilder gown, like an overlay dress that I could do two separate kind of pieces, maybe even the Leela dress from Marsha Style. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking of a romantic kind of boho looking tiered dress, because I do have about 3 meters of it there, so not sure what to do with it, but really lovely delicate lace, but that was a bonus. Next, I have some beautiful fabric from Fabric Hunt here in Australia, and the lovely Cherie from Fabric Hunt has sent me a gorgeous Viscose Shelly from Lady Mcelroy Fabrics. Absolutely beautiful print, gorgeous navy background. I've got about 2 meters here, and I'm thinking, you think I would have been sick of making blouses by now, but I still can't get enough. I'm actually thinking of making the Nexus blouse by Paper Cut Patterns, I think it is. I have seen a beautiful version that Gabrielle from Cloth Edit made for herself, and I'm just like in love with this blouse. Nice billowy bishop sleeve, nice simple neckline with a button down the front. So that I think will come up really pretty, but loving those shades. The beautiful kind of corally peach color in there, I think pops out really nicely as well. So that's a really lovely fabric. So thank you very much for that, Cherie. Head over to Fabric Hunt, and I think they still have that online there as well. And while I was looking at Fabric Hunt, I actually saw this beautiful brand new Sherpa fleece fabric, which is a gorgeous cotton fleece, and it is the Pacific blue color. I was really toying with which color to get because there is a beautiful apricot kind of rust color, and I was very, very tempted to go for it, but I really love this color on me. This is an organic cotton as well, and it's got a beautiful warmth to it, but it's not like that really heavily thick fake fur feel at all. It's more of a nice breathable kind of Sherpa, really lovely, kind of mid-weight, but it's not bulky. That fleece, that fur is not too heavy. I think it'll look beautiful in a pattern scout pattern I've shown you on a recent episode in a pattern release. I think it's the cozy jacket with a zip up the front. I think that will be really practical to wear for dressing up with a pair of jeans and a nice blouse, or even dressing down over a t-shirt and some sweatpants. So I think that would be a really practical make, but have to find the right color zip for that, and yeah, really excited to make it. So head on over to Fabric Hunt to see her other colors because they're really beautiful. The next fabric I have here was kindly sent to me from Pattern Scissors Frock. Now the beautiful Amaya, if you haven't seen her store, Pattern Scissors Frock is just to die for. She has beautiful fabrics, a lot of designer fabrics, brand name fabrics. This is a beautiful organic jacquard knit from Mind the Maker. It's a gorgeous khaki color leaf print. Although it's cotton, I must say it feels quite warm. I think it'll be beautiful. I'm going to unfold it and show you up close the print in it. It's got like a self embossed print, just the jacquard in the knit, and you can see there, I think that will be a really lovely drapey style cardigan to wear. Kind of be great for all seasons, but I think it'll go with a lot of the things I've got here, a lot of the prints. But that is just superb quality, and she does have a lot of there's Meat Milk, Mind the Maker, there's a lot of different beautiful name brand fabrics that I think you'll fall in love with. But not only does she have beautiful knit range, she also has some beautiful wovens there as well, some gorgeous prints. There's a beautiful patchworky style checkerboard cotton that I'm just in love with. It's almost like I'm thinking of making maybe a Ilford jacket, like a kind of a shacket, I think everyone's calling them these days. But really love that print, that checkerboard with the earthy tone colours, so may have to go and invest in some of that. This is a beautiful fabric that I bought from Pitt Trading, and it was one of their Friday night 6 p.m. specials that I was telling you about before, the remnant and designer end fabrics that they have. They clear out a lot of things, and it's whatever cuts they have there. It's a gorgeous crepe Shelly fabric. Now this was 2.5 meters of 140 width, and it was down to like $35, so which was a great bargain. It's actually gorgeous quality fabric, so $35 for the whole lot, and that has a beautiful bird and floral print. Now I've got quite a bit of it because I actually had another little offcut as well that I bought, was marked down as well. So when you get those little remnant bundles, you can take what they've got there at a really good discount price. So I think all up I've got like 3.5 meters. So I really can see a dress in this for winter that I can layer with a cardigan and tights. So the one I keep thinking about is that gorgeous one I showed you, that magazine subscription. You can buy in subscription, or you can buy the actual individual patterns. It was the Crescent Lake dress from Maria of Denmark, which is the beautiful Kirsten tee that she had a free pattern for. The dress itself I'm just in love with, and I think that would be a beautiful tiered layer dress without being too ruffly. I love the bodice neckline of that as well. So yeah, really, really pretty. I think that will come up really lovely for layering, maybe with the cardigan, or even the Sherpa jacket will go with that. Even a pop of red underneath it might look really lovely too. So I'll show you that up close. Unfortunately, I don't think they have any of that left, but I'm sure you can find something quite similar by looking over at Pitt Trading. Heading on into winter, I've decided to start collecting some fleece fabrics when I see them, because I find here in Australia it's really hard to find good quality fleece fabric. Sometimes you can find that kind of sweatshirting fabric that doesn't have a lot of stretch in it. I don't want that. I want a nice soft knit. I also find lots of polar fleece, which I'm not really interested in buying either. I find that they don't breathe as well. They get that kind of weird smell to them once you've worn them over and over. I just find that they just don't, they're not as nice to wear as a beautiful cotton brushed fleece. So when I see the Liberty fleeces on sale, that's when I usually grab them. And this is from the fabric store online. Now the fabric store online is the shop I took you guys into for my city visit. This was purchased online a couple of months back when they had a sale and they had 20% off all the Liberty fleeces. So I can highly recommend the Liberty fleeces because I've made 2 sweatshirts in them last year, washed them and worn them several times too. And the new Sew House 7 Cosmos sweatshirt, I'm thinking of doing the rounder neck one in this. I love this print. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got that gorgeous brushed fleece. I'll show you the inside of it. It's got really lovely fleece, really cuddly and cozy to wear. And yeah, as I say, I have worn and washed my last Liberty fleeces from last year over and over again. I never get sick of wearing them. They're the kind of prints that people will stop you and ask you where you've bought it. And you can say, I made it myself, because you can't always find that kind of thing in store. You'll find heaps of hoodies, sweatshirts with numbers on the front and all that kind of thing, which is fine for wearing it around the house. But I wanted something a bit more special and elevated, a nice sweatshirt to wear with jeans for the cooler months. And that's when I think, when I find those, I grab them because they're really hard to find here. But really pretty fleece fabric. The next batch of fabrics I have here was from Drapers Fabvrics. Now Drapers Fabvrics was the other shop that I filmed the outside of at my last city visit, that they were closed. I couldn't get in there. We were a bit too early, but I actually purchased these online when they had 20% off their whole store. They had a few days back, about a month or two ago, month and a half ago I think it was, with everything was discounted. So I went online and bought a few bits and pieces. This first one was a beautiful wool and silk fabric. Now I wasn't sure about the weight of it online. It's really hard to see, of course, but absolutely beautiful weight, and it could either be made in something like pants, skirt, or a blouse. It's that beautiful mid. It's really lightweight, but because it's got that tiny bit of wool in it, it gives you that little touch of warmth. But also having the silk in it gives you that drape. So you can see, I just think that kind of cappuccino colour, I think they've called it, is just stunning, and it'll go back with so many bits and pieces that I've got. I think it could be a tad lightweight to make for pants. Maybe a skirt would be nice, but I actually bought it at first to make a blouse with, and I was thinking about maybe the Helga blouse from Sewciety Fabrics, but I'm not 100% sure now whether I'll make a blouse or not. I probably do tend to need some more basic bottoms, but I'm going to keep that one open because, I haven't quite decided on that one yet. The next one from Drapers Fabvrics was this beautiful polyester kind of drapey fabric, but it's got this gorgeous kind of tartany print through it. Really floaty, almost feels like a viscose. Their polyesters are actually really great quality. Can highly recommend them, and especially for winter time where you don't need anything too breathable. I find them great to wear. So either a dress or maybe a skirt for that one. The only thing is with that kind of checked tartan print, you have to really be careful pattern matching. So not 100% sure, but I think it would look beautiful. Maybe even the olive skirt by Dorada Davies, the new pattern that she's released. That could look really stunning with that kind of angled pocket, but not totally decided on that one yet either, but really love it. Had to get that one because it was on sale. Now these were a couple of cotton prints that were marked down. I think this is really lovely with the teal kind of little geometric pattern in it. That would be a great little blouse for heading on into winter, especially layered with that Sherpa fleece. That'll complement it beautiful. If I can show you together the colours. I just think that'll come up really nice, but I think that would even be really lovely in something maybe with a puffier kind of sleeve. So that one is undecided as yet. And then I decided to get a little bit of cotton flannel because I really like that kind of checked grid pattern. I think that would look stunning in maybe something like a tunic style shirt or maybe a gallery tunic, but I'm not decided as yet. But I think some kind of tunic would definitely be great for wearing for winter. I'm loving just the stretchy dark denim jeans at the moment. I think this colour looks stunning, and even maybe with a grey cardigan or maybe that kind of wine colour knit over the top would look really special as well to wear for those cooler months. Now the last fabrics I have here were from Spotlight. And these fabrics were bought with Pattern Union's beautiful Felix Jacket in mind. Now the Felix Jacket, I've seen Sarah make quite a few versions, and I'm going to go for the version without the zip. I want that more kind of a bolero shape with the trim around the edges. I've gone for this beautiful kind of avocado, it's vegan leather, pleather, not really sure what you'd call it, but just from Spotlight. It's got kind of a bit of a sheen on it. Doesn't have much stretch. I think that would come up really nice for a little winter jacket, and I'm going to line it with this nice rayon fabric that I bought from there as well. I think that'll come up really nice underneath it. But yeah, I kind of like the look of those jackets. She's done quite a few different versions there. She's done a boucle one, a leather one. I thought if I make it with that kind of bit cheaper fabric first, the pleather, and I get the fit right, and then I might venture into something maybe like a really soft faux leather. I think it just depends on where you're buying it from, maybe even a suede. I am a little bit concerned it could be a little bit stiff, even though it has got a bit of it's quite thin, got a lot of softness to it. You don't really know till you get that kind of thing on the body and see how it looks, and see how you can kind of move in it. But yeah, it really is a lovely colour, and I really went in there looking at maybe a more neutral colour or black, and then straight away I just thought that green will really go with lots of, I should go with this blouse as well. It'll go with a lot of my things, but I think the light kind of colours are really nice to wear. Just as something a bit different and unique. So they are my new fabrics. The last couple of months that I've been collecting, I dare say there'll be more to come as soon as I find some more warm fleece fabrics. I will be definitely investing in those because I have got quite a few more sweatshirts I want to make for winter. And yeah, I think this will keep me busy probably over most of winter as well, because I know that when you buy fabrics and do a big fabric haul like that and you have a lot of plans, it seems like a lot of it's really doable, but in the reality it is a lot harder to make that many garments up that quickly. And I think that I would prefer to get slowly through my stash than just be rushing with a heap of plans, because you do tend to get burnt out that way. And I think a lot of vloggers have realised that when they have a lot of plans and they want to make everything all at once, it is really hard to do that, and it's really not what we want to encourage. I think it's best to slow down and take your time with things and enjoy the process of the whole making experience. So I like to try and use a lot of those things up before I go ahead and buy and purchase more for every season. Last winter I got through most of my stash, so I don't really have a lot of carryover, which is really great because I don't want to be gathering and keeping too much in the stash there and running out of room. So I think it's best not to overbuy and maybe make more practical garments. At this time last year, of course, we were in a really long lockdown. I didn't get to wear a lot of my things that I made, and I even realised going out last week that there's some shoes, and my mum had commented on a new little pair of boots that I bought last year in lockdown. She said, I haven't seen those. I said, because last year, of course, we didn't get to wear all this lovely new things that we'd either made or bought, and it was more or less just wearing sweatpants and slippers around the house. So it is really nice to be able to wear those things that we made last winter this winter. So if you'd like to watch anything to do with creating your own wardrobe, looking at fabric, maybe pattern inspiration, you've come to the right place. So I highly suggest you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to never miss out on an episode. I hope you enjoyed that. Go ahead and look at all the links there if you're interested in those fabrics. I'll link to them all below. Go and support all your indie fabric stores as well, because there's so much to offer there. They do offer fantastic service as well. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon for a new episode and maybe some makes. Bye for now.